Today, I am beyond thrilled to be able to welcome the brilliant Bill Bauman to this podcast. Welcome, Bill.
Oh, Marci, thank you.
What is this quantum field that you're talking about? Or how do you connect in such that the miracles happen?
I sit in my internal emptiness and just wanting to be there, just opening to that. That empty source creates potential.
How do people best deal with those day-to-day human kinds of problems?
When it comes to dealing with your issues, here's what I would invite. Let go of the trained conscious mind, which could be translated as, well, let me take my focus off of the problem.
Would you actually walk us through maybe a 5-minute process of actually doing this?
Oh, let me think. I would be honored to do that.
You are not meant to struggle. You are meant to live in the miracle zone. I'm Marci Shimoff. I'm a #1 New York Times bestselling author and the founder of Your Year of Miracles. And after decades of exploring the true source of happiness and success, I have found one thing, and that is that when you align with the energy of miracles, life flows. It flows with joy. It flows with grace. So welcome to living in the miracle zone. And today I am beyond thrilled to be able to welcome the brilliant Bill Bauman to this podcast. Welcome, Bill.
Oh, Marci, thank you. I don't know if I've ever been called brilliant. That is delightful. Thank you. My ego is flourishing.
Well, your light is certainly shining. And in a moment, let me first tell people a little bit about your background, and then I'm going to tell them what enormous role you have played in my life.
Oh, sweet.
So Bill Bauman is a modern day mystic. He is a psychologist. He's a visionary leader who's dedicated to serving the awakening of humanity. And over the course of Bill's life, he has journeyed through many diverse realms of consciousness. He started on the sacred path of priesthood and then psychology, and is in now the profound dimensions of energy and essence and infinite light. And his work reflects truly a lifelong devotion to love and unity and transformation. He founded the World Peace Institute in Washington, D.C., and he has inspired thousands of people to embody peace through a consciousness of oneness. And I am so thrilled to have Bill here today because Bill has actually been a tremendous, beloved mentor and friend of mine. In fact, I call Bill my spiritual godfather. And godfather, I mean in the best of ways. Really, actually, my whole Year of Miracles program came out of my work with Bill. I worked with Bill on a weekly basis. He was my mentor for many, many, many years. And I really owe so much of what how I experience life these days and what I do in the world is really because of you, Bill. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything.
Oh, Marci, I am deeply, deeply touched. Thank you. What an amazing introduction. And I want to say to everyone who's viewing this, I love Marci. And to me, she is an exquisite light. She is the perfect person, being, presence to be the inviter of miracles, to be the sponsor of miracles, to be the power with you for inviting miracles. And she and I were chatting just a couple minutes before this, and we both agreed that, it seems like this entire talk together with you here is going to be all about miracles. So it's my joy to be here. As I say, I adore Marci, and I join with Marci now to welcome all of us into the miracle zone, and I'm thrilled to be an intimate part of it.
Well, Bill, thank you again. I started working with Bill, so everybody has the background, I think in around the year 2000. And when the idea of Your Year of Miracles came to me, I was still working with Bill. It was by then 2013. And actually, Bill was the person who ordained me as a minister in so I went to you when I had this idea of your year of miracles and living in the miracle zone, and you were such a tremendous support of this, and really a midwife uh, to birth that. If I don't know, mid husband, I don't know what it would be called for the male version of a midwife, but you helped really birth this, and I do miracles activations, and a lot of that came through the work that we did together, and how you helped me co-create those miracles activations. And so I would really love, Bill, to start by having you share how you came to live a miraculous life, because I mean, I know you left the priesthood at age 28 when you fell in love with the most wonderful nun on the planet, who is now your beloved wife of many, 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 many years gone.
Many years, that's right. Yeah, that was and is and remains the most amazing love story. It's just tremendous. And if we weren't here for this, I could talk like forever about my life with her. She is a miracle. So,
We'll do
um,
that another time with her, maybe.
exactly. Sounds perfect. Yeah, the whole miracle thing was a step-by-step discovery for me. I think, like most of us, I was kind of a human being, and so I'll just do a quick walkthrough of my life here. And the first big thing was before I became a priest, I was studying theology in Europe, and out of nowhere, this voice from my heart just shouted at me, try love, because I was like kind of depressed at the time because everything had fallen apart, and I couldn't find a reason for being alive, etc. And try me, and something happened. Love, pure love, awakened in my heart, and it was that kind of love that is radical love. It wasn't a selfish or self-centered. It wasn't about getting love. It was about somehow the most pure form of love, and it, like, took me over. And in fact, for the brief time that I was a priest, that I made it all about love, about living in the heart. And I discovered then, like, wow, when one is thoroughly, passionately in love, there's the power of love too, and we can fill that in a lot of ways, to heal, but to create miracles. And so I started witnessing these miracles. Then, to fast forward a bit, I am going to skip a couple of other things, but as a psychologist, I started living powerfully in the subconscious mind, and found the power of the subconscious mind, and I used hypnosis a lot to express that. And being totally one with the deeper mind in us, I discovered the power of the mind, the power to empower. And I realized there's this subconscious powerhouse within us that can create miracles. And then I was privileged to witness a lot of those miracles in myself and with other people. Then, just if I could shift to the soul, to the spirit, to the light, if you will. I was thoroughly immersed in that. I've had all these initiations. Why, I'm not sure, but I keep getting called and called to live in bigger fields and bigger realms. And so there's this realm of light, and I discovered, as you might expect, the power of light to heal. And I think that's what, with Marci, that's what all of you are doing: the power of love, the power of light, the power of being, just the power of whatever. And so a lot of what I've done is I've traveled into the depths of our humanness. I've felt like my whole reason for being for many years was I've got to totally understand every element of humanness, so that I could be this servant to awaken whatever potential is here for becoming more, getting bigger, expanding, deepening, awakening, if you will. And that to me is what miracles are about. And to me, in a sense, miracles are simply anything we can't understand rationally and logically, and something that doesn't follow the Newtonian physics rules of living, if you will. And the worlds I'm describing, which are the worlds that you're very familiar with also, they are that. They're the miracle zone. And so for me, living in them, I was privileged at every step to come back and be a voice of, and to be a conduit of whatever that power is. So for me, the word power is an enormously central word. There's the power of creation, there's the power of light, the power of love. And of course, in the last many years, for me, it's been all about the power of the quantum. And that's been my latest passion for the last many years, or the place I live in, the deepest, deepest, deepest space of emptiness and nothingness, like the quantum void in the language of quantum physics. And there's power there. Obviously, that's the power. That's the power behind the Big Bang, the power behind creation itself. And so, as Marci said beautifully, when we live in each of these and any of these zones, or to say it another way, when we're just open to it, when we're alive to it, when we just join with it, as I feel like Marci and I are inviting all of us to do just in this moment, just naturally, without any effort, without any have tos, without any push on our part, even in a sense without any intention, though the intention is implied, just on its own, whatever we're open to just starts coming forth. It starts opening up. And I see that when I talk with people, and as a helper, as a support, I witness that, one of my big roles is I kind of sit over the forest of life, and I watch what's going on, and so I'm a witnesser, and I feel like I'm a kind of a bigger dimensional witnesser of humanness, but of human potential, human miracles, human possibilities, human everything, and the joy for me is to watch when we get in that miracle zone, whether it's light, whether it's love, whether it's a quantum source, or a blend of any or all of those, or whether it's just being, something enormous happens. And the miracle of life shows up. And I think one of the reasons you're watching this is because that's the path you're on, and that's the calling that you've got at a heart level, at a soul level, the calling to hang out, not just in the, as Marci said, right up front, not in the suffering zone, not in the hard work zone. We all have enough of that in our lives, but to open up this possibility, it's a possibility that you, I, Marci, we all have a calling, and oftentimes that calling is kind of hidden in the inner realms and the inner depths of us. And when it opens, like I'm experiencing it opening right now for all of us, when it opens, it's like the deepest wisdom comes up with it. Like that's one of my code words for the word soul is wisdom and truth. To me,
Mm.
our heart carries, holds love. Our soul holds the truth of us, and has the deepest wisdom, and is the inner guide of each of us. And then, even going back to the subconscious mind, that's the self that knows everything about us and knows where that power resides, and knows how to, like, turn on the switch, so to speak, find the
I,
control panel and flip the switch.
I just have to comment. I just have to comment, if I may, Bill, about just sitting here listening to you. I have the experience that I have every time I'm around you, and that is beyond the words, that there is a transmission that's happening. And I just invite everybody right now who's listening or watching to experience, is there something happening in you? Is there a vibration, a quickening, an up leveling, an opening in your heart? Any of those things that are really indicators of this opening to this field of miracles. And every time I'm with you, Bill, I feel it, and I feel it thanks to you. I feel like I was an unlikely person to be living in the miracle zone, but with your support and with the support of others, I live here much of the time as well. And so it is possible for anybody, even the people who have been depressed, like you mentioned, Bill, you were depressed. all this is what is meant for us as humans. And I've witnessed, Bill, and experienced the healings that happen. This is where true healing comes from. It's from this field. So maybe could you speak a little bit to what is this quantum field that you're talking about? Why does it why how do we use it, or how do you connect in that such that the miracles happen?
Question. Thank you, Marci. And I just, I feel moved to say this. To me, Marci is a walking miracle. I mean, just if I look at you, I'm privileged to be able to see people's energy, see their light, etc. And the light around Marci, I asked her about the 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 tree of life behind her, and I made the point earlier. I made the point that it coincides with your halo, and it's really it's just absolutely beautiful and radiant. But that's a side point. So really, thank you, Marcy. I want to comment first before I respond to your request about it's beyond the words. There's something way beyond the words. I recognize, just having lived and living in so many different realms, like the realm of miracles, that words, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, words are cheap,
Mm.
and words can't, because they're three-dimensional, and because they're linear, and because our words are not based, generally speaking, on a four dimension, 5 dimension, 10 dimensional, or deeper dimensional space. So words can barely express what miracles are about, barely express the wonder that lives in you, that lives in me, that lives in us, that is here, and it's a vibration. And I didn't use the realm of miracle, of energy, when I was talking before, but that's one of the worlds I live in. And I have this deep resonance, and I'm using that now because I'm feeling like all of us know energy. We certainly know our emotions, and we certainly feel the vibes, or the vibration, or the energetic resonance of our beings, of our bodies, of our energy field, of our life force, etc. That's powerful. So to me, sometimes the way it works, and it works differently for everybody, of course, but sometimes the way it works is, and I'm just going to follow this from its purest source. So the pure source, of course, is pure nothingness. Every bit of existence or creation comes from nothing, and that's a scientific finding, and it's kind of generally how I experience it, especially. So for me, I sit in my internal emptiness, and I'm inviting us to do that as much as that's possible. I know it's a stretch for some, but just to be there in whatever way, and just wanting to be there, just opening to that, whether successfully, as we would say, or not, doesn't matter. It's like it's here. And so that empty source creates potential. So the source is the quantum void. The potential is the quantum field, according to quantum physicists, if you will. In the quantum field, they say, quantum physicists would say, is filled with subatomic particles. The consciousness word for subatomic particles is potential,
Mm.
possibilities. So out of our emptiness comes amazing potential, possibilities that just open. And when we're just, well, the old, what you focus on is what comes to life. So just putting our focus there, like right now, potential starts arising. So for each one of us, we've got maybe 5, 6, 7 different possibilities of what we could be, or what might want to happen. And many of those would be what we would call in the realm of miracles. So they're there. And then the next step is, and those potentials, by the way, are invisible, intangible, they're not in form yet. And like what you put your attention on happens to come up to aliveness. And so, of course, the scientific word for that is, it moves from wave, non-form to particle form. So all of a sudden it becomes an energy. It's like, and I watch this because I get to see people's energy. I watch it especially right over the head or in the heart or in the body, if you will. And that's what I am privileged to witness when I'm hanging out with somebody, just being whatever kind of helper I am. I watch this creation from nothing to potential to energy. And then I watch the energy start to flow. And I watch the energy start to shape shift different things in us. And sometimes that's very much in the mind. It shape shifts our, first of all, in the hardware of the mind, which is the brain. It starts to shape shift the light and the quality of the light and the nature of the light, so that that brain can support a mind that's more open, that's more expressive, and that starts owning a different self-concept, starts owning oh, I really deserve this. Or, oh, wow. Like somebody just wrote to me this morning an email. It's like, oh, all of a sudden I feel like I deserve love. I am loved. Oh, wow. So it was like it can open up anything. And then back to self-concept is like, well, who am I really? Like, am I a struggling human being? Or am I someone who is more of a full-time resident in, for example, the miracle zone? Or am I, like the spiritual saying goes, a spiritual being having a human experience as opposed to the vice versa? So all of that happens. So whatever it is, if I go back to Moni, to Marci's invitation to you here today, just a little earlier, it's like, yeah, what I wonder as I'm describing this, what's happening in you right now? What's from that nothing to that possibility to in your energy field? What might that be? And because it's in the energy field, that's when we start feeling it. We don't feel nothing. Uh, we don't feel potential because it's not got a form, and it doesn't move in us in a way that we can register. But energy we can experience, light we can kind of experience. So if I were going to kind of make a generalization in the moment about what maybe is happening now with many of us who are watching this, I would say, ooh, as I'm tuning into the energy field and watching it be empowered from emptiness, nothingness, quantum void, quantum source, and watching the potentials or the possibilities come alive and dance. And that's what I watch. These possibilities are like fun little critters. And if we could see what they are in their invisible state, that the whole quantum realm is where possibilities live, subatomic particles, they're having a ball. They're just loving being possibilities. It's like, think of gazillions upon gazillions of possibilities everywhere throughout the universe, throughout universes, throughout dimensions, throughout other worlds, as well as this one. It's like just think, if you were excuse me if I'm going on too much.
Not at all, man. This is awesome, Bill.
If you were the quantum emptiness, like the source, okay, and you watched exude out of you all these possibilities, first of all, it would be a show. It would be such a delight. It's like watching the best movie ever. And then you might say, as that emptiness, you might say, well, that's so much fun. Let's give some form to some of them. Let's create them in the form of space, in the form of time, in the form of light, in the form of being, in the form of aliveness, in the form of body, in the form of energy, in the form of love. And so you are all of that. So to me, I live in this unbelievable space, and it's like a disease for me. It's an unbelievable space where I can't help but, no matter who I'm talking with or who I'm looking at, just see the elegant makeup, this creation, this walking creation that you are. Oh, it doesn't get any better. And sure, part of our human trip is we get programmed in the mind from day one of our life about good witches and evil witches, and so duality and right and wrong, and the seriousness of it all, and then the suffering of it, and so we get bathed in that, and it could be, and I believe it is, that one of the purposes of that is so that we can kind of experience all the possibilities, then wake up to who we really are. And that's for me in this moment. That's the exciting part. So here you are. There's this something coming alive, and it's kind of soaring and searing through your body, your energy field, and if we listen closely enough, it starts talking to us. It starts inviting us. It starts inviting a oneness. It's like, okay, this gift is here. This miracle is here. Let's now invite you to notice it. Oh, look at that. To own it, to accept it. And let's face it, for most of us, accepting a gift is a stretch sometimes. But to accept it, and then step by step, and hopefully this is one of those moments, step by step, be able to say, maybe even proclaim, wow, I am that. I am that. So thank you for allowing me this journey with you.
Oh, thank you, Bill, so much, because I think that, uh, while we have been trained to learn how to do things and, figure it out and be in this sequential kind of a system, I think that what happens to a lot of people is that this waking up is not done in that exact way. It's more of a sort of an energetic shift that starts to come over people more and more, and
Yes.
I see it
Yes, yes.
I see it happening to people left and right. People who have had spiritual background and people who've had no kind of spiritual background or interest. There's an awakening to this greater state of oneness or connection to all of life or living in the flow. I talk about living in the miracle zone is living in the flow of life
Mhm,
where
mhm.
you feel that there is this alignment, this connection, that life is kind of living through you, and it
Mm,
happens
mm.
with ease and grace rather than with struggle and fear,
Yes,
and it's
yes.
that realm of love. So what would you say to people who go, "Well, I kind of intuitively get what you're talking about. I've had experiences of this or had glimpses of this, but I'm sure not living there as much as I'd like to be living there." Or I'm dealing with challenges in my relationships or challenges in my finances or all of that. How do people best deal with those day to day human kinds of problems and also move more into this living in the miracle zone?
Thank you. I feel like it's the perfect question, and it fits only about 99+% of people. So here's a thought. The thought I have often is, the conscious mind, the figuring it out mind, the make a plan mind, the how do I solve this problem mind is great for figuring out regular human issues or problems, figuring out what to have for dinner, figuring out how to repair this. It's a marvelous mind for that. But we need a bigger mind for what Marci's talking about and what we're talking about when it comes to your growth, when it comes to your deepening, when it comes to dealing with your issues or whatever it may be there. Here's what I would invite to, as much as you can, let go of the trained conscious mind. I think like step one, that would be step one, or which could be translated as, well, let me take my focus off of the problem, because when we put my focus on the problem, now on the conscious mind would say, yes, focus on it so that you know what you're dealing with, then you can figure out how to do it. But if I take my mind off of that, and then I open to, we call it a lot of things, the realm of miracles, or open to something bigger. We could say open to my all-knowing, all-wise soul. We could say open to my love-filled heart. And ask myself, so I'll do a little journey here just quickly, like okay, so I go to my heart, and what I know about my heart is my heart loves me unconditionally. There's never a judgment. Your heart never, never finds fault with you. If you didn't have the perfect parent, and very few people do, but if you didn't, and if that was an issue, your heart can be that parent. Your heart can make up for that. So we can go to the heart and we say, tell me, show me, show me what would you do? Or how would you show up? And a lot of times your heart would say, hey, my gift is pure love. And I am just going to love you until you can't stand it anymore, or love you until you even forget the concept that there's something wrong with you, something inferior about you, something non-powerful about you, something guilty about you, etc. So you can go to your heart, just hang out there, and then if you want more, take a journey next door over to your soul, and that's the pure light of you, the all-knowing light knows everything about you. So your soul, your heart loves you enormously. Your soul is like, hey, I got the truth of you. I know you. And then ask your soul to give you a sermon about who you are, about to wake you up to what is the reality of me. And then that implies to me, and these are meaningful words to me anyway, that we're all here humanly in a spell. Is what I call the human story. The human story, with all respect to it, and it's a story we all are here to walk, absolutely, but it's the equivalent of a spell. And so what Marci is inviting, I think, is how do we awaken from the spell? So we invite our heart to awaken us, we invite our soul to awaken us. And now you could go to your body, and to your energy. You could go to your deeper mind. You could go to the pure light in the light field. You could go to God or to whatever being or presence in that field. And many people do.
I would love, you've been walking us through how one would do it. Would you actually walk us through maybe a 5-minute process of actually doing this? Is that something you would be willing to do?
Oh, let me think. I, I,
Bill has an agreement with me. You want to tell
yes,
the agreement, Bill?
yeah, the agreement is I can never say no to Marci.
And
Never
my
say no
agreement
to Marci.
is that I can always receive his yes.
Yes, yes, exactly. It's a win-win kind of a deal. So it's perfect. So whatever Marci says, I'm there. So
So
okay.
so yeah, I
So
think it would be lovely for us to do just a 5-minute process that you guide us through
yes.
how we would
Well,
experience this. Is that
I
good?
would be honored to do that, and thank you. So I invite you, just maybe with your eyes closed, or if you want to keep them open, that's fine. Just kind of be with you, at least the you that you experience yourself to be. And notice right now that just as we've talked about, there are 3, 4, 5 possibilities of what can take place in the next 5 or 6 minutes. They're just floating right there in your space. You probably can't see them tangibly, but they're there. So just let your awareness go to the presence of these possibilities that got placed here several minutes ago from the deepest source of your being, the source that has created you, that is dreaming you, that is expressing itself in and through you. As Marci said before, the life is living you and moving through you. So that source has given you these possibilities. And now notice that your heart, your loving, purely loving, powerful self is stepping to the fore and choosing one of those possibilities and just reaching its invisible arms out and taking that possibility and pulling it into your heart and welcoming it to its new home in your heart, where your heart, like a womb, like a mother's breast is going to hold and nurture that possibility and let it grow and grow and grow and love it and have it become you. And if you want to stay there, that's fine. But I'm also going to say now let's look at your soul just opening itself and reaching out for the possibility that would most bespeak your truth, would most support the bigger truth of you, and it reaches its invisible arms out and pulls it into itself, this glowing ball of light inside you that we call your soul. And it's caretaking that potential and supporting it to grow in you more and more. And then with just one more stop, we're literally going to go deep, deep, deep into your quantum source, into pure nothingness, what Buddhists tend to call pure emptiness, where there's no form, where it's pure nothingness, what mathematicians called absolute zero, and there are no words, but it's now doing the equivalent of giving you a new gift. And this is the gift that makes all the rest of them work, and it's the gift of quantum power. Quantum power is the very power that created the universe through the Big Bang. It's the very power that creates us anew every day of our life. And that power is just entering magically, miraculously into you right now, becoming an intimate part of you, and especially filling any facet of you that felt disempowered, that felt fearful, that felt anything that was less than who you really are. A quantum power. And this quantum power, if it had a voice, which it can, might be saying to you right now, I am here. I'm the hidden power behind your throne, and I've chosen this moment to be present, to wake up into you so that you are quantumly empowered. Just like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz looked down on her feet when she was sobbing, not being able to get back to Kansas, and she saw those magical ruby red slippers, the quantum power that's now here in you, as a constant companion, but like if you were a tree, as your new root system, this invisible, dynamic, empowering, juicy root system that is the power that helps your loving heart, helps your all-knowing soul, helps your precious body, helps your energy field, helps all levels of your mind to be, recognize, and own who you are as this magnificent gift to this planet, to those around you, to all of humanity, and to this special, special star of the dream called you. Wow. Thank you, Marci, and thank you,
Oh,
everybody.
Bill, very, very profound and powerful. That it's a little hard for me to come out of that and speak right now, but I will. Um, you know, I just want to say that no matter what your experience was of that, I hope that people, if you weren't able to do that with us, because maybe you were driving or whatever, that you come back and do it at any time. And just know and trust that whatever experience you had was the perfect experience. Whether it was, wow, I am transported to a place that I've never experienced before, or it was, well, I felt some agitation. Whatever it was the right experience for you. And I think that it's hard. People can tend to look for it should feel like this or it should look like that. And I know from 25 years of working with you, Bill, that you trust and know that whatever the experience is exactly the right one. And I loved the I I I don't know if this is correct, but I'm going to check it out with you. The invitation in the heart was the opening to universal love or divine love. The opening of the soul is the light, and the opening to the quantum is the power. And those three together are really the magic,
That's right.
the miracles.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Bill, is there anything you want to share with us about that process, or what people would do with, where people would take that for themselves?
Wow, that's a good question. First of all, I feel like your commentary, your expression about that was just absolutely beautiful. Thank you. The one thing I do want to say before we get away from our time together is when I did first meet Marci 25 years ago, she was in kindergarten. So it's just for reference. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you,
That's all.
Bill.
Yes. Yeah,
You
it's
were
true.
you were in your 20s or so, is that right?
It's something like that. Yes, exactly. Oh, teenager. It was something I forget. Anyway, um, I I I guess I don't have a lot of words because I think, as you've just experienced, I live in a zone that doesn't have words, and I think that's the irony, is that for some reason I've been given this gift of, for somebody who lives so in an internal silence, to do words, to translate the intangible into tangible. So it's a calling to do that. But as Marci said earlier, the miracle is beyond the words. So I think if I had a final message, it might be something like, you know, love this three-dimensional mind for all that it's good at, and just, be with it and be empowered in it, etc. But know that you have a subconscious mind, an unconscious mind, a quantum mind, a superconscious mind. That you have that your mind is like a pie with a lot of slices, and the conscious mind that we're trained to center our lives around is only one slice. And so and this is just from my depth, from my being to you, when I see you, I see the whole pie, and I I I invite you for the rest of your life to be the many slices of that pie. What to me, what's great about being able to live a certain amount of time on Earth as a human being with consciousness is we keep growing and we keep expanding and we keep getting to be a bigger version and a bigger version and a bigger version of who we are. Like I look at me and no, actually, I wasn't a teenager back in 2000, but as you can tell from this face, I've been hanging out here for quite a while.
Do you
I
mind
can't.
sharing, Bill, how many years? Because I think it's very inspiring, because nobody would ever guess from both your look and also the vitality and energy that you have,
Oh,
how
thank
many
you.
years young you are. Do you mind sharing
I
that?
am 85 years old.
Yeah.
I am. And I owe a lot of that. In fact, I probably owe all of whatever you're experiencing here and seeing here to the miracle zone. And
Mm.
just one quick little thing. In my death of the ego over years to enter into total oneness with quantum emptiness and my emptiness, my body took a real hit. So I just all sorts of things. And at the end of that, I landed in quantumhood in Nowheresville. And as I got totally absorbed in that, that source recreated this and recreated a physical self that is quite healthy, and everything else. And that's a miracle. That to use the old Christian terms of death, tomb, and resurrection, death of the ego, which is letting go of our attachments, letting go of our beliefs, etc., and just kind of dying to the essence of who we are, and that's the tomb hanging out there. And then there's resurrection, there's recreation. And so there's a new human, or there's a bigger human, or a revitalized human, or there's, with all the potential that's there, you get recreated every day. So that process is happening all the time, whether we're consciously in it or not. So my last invitation, I think, is, wow, no matter what's going on at a conscious mind level, I am being recreated every day. And just invite yourself to kind of show up to that. It's like, oh, who's here? What's here right now? And in that, everything in you will keep inviting you to the bigger vision, the bigger knowing, the bigger picture of who you are. I love you. I've had such a good time with you. You're the best playmates in the world, and I thank Marci um, for um, for drawing you to her, and for all the ways that. And this is why I respect her so much. She is the mouthpiece and expresser and inviter of miracles.
Hmm.
Thank you,
Bill,
Marci.
this has been so spectacular. My heart is full. My cells are vibrating. I feel light everywhere. And I feel so happy to get to share you with the people that are drawn to this podcast, to Living in the Miracle Zone. And I feel this was wonderful, perfect. And I feel so blessed that I've gotten to have you as my spiritual godfather for the last 25 years, my mentor, and this is just exquisite. So, Bill, I'm going to close with a quote first, and then some closing words. And the quote is from, I'll use that word again, the brilliant Bill Bauman, the word I used in the beginning, because
All
the
right.
brilliant and love-filled and quantumly awesome Bill Bauman, who said, "The beauty of being called to be divine is that we get to participate in that magic." And this is the miracle zone, is living in this way, the truth of who we all are and what we are put on this planet to experience. So I can't thank you enough, Bill, for this. And I really can't thank all of you who are here listening to this enough, because I believe we do this together. So I want to thank you for joining us. If you were drawn to this conversation, it wasn't by accident. Something in you is saying, yes, I'm ready to live more in the miracle zone. And I hope that you are feeling inspired and more aligned with that quantum field and with the energy of miracles. And so if this touched you, please share it with the people you love. And please remember that also you can download your free gift, which is our ebook, Manifest a Life of Miracles, 4 Steps to Living in the Miracle Zone, at themiraclezonebook.com. And you can also find out more about that brilliant and love-filled quantum guy named Bill Bauman at quantumworld.world. Bill has a newly published book called Emptiness Dreaming, the Story of Creation as Seen Through the Eyes of the Quantum Void. That's available on Amazon, and we will give you all of the links to all of that as well in the show notes. And I just want to remind us all that you are meant for miracles. Miracles are not reserved for the lucky few. They are meant for you. They are meant for all of us. And as each of us lives more and more of this truth of living in the miracle zone, we help create more of that on this planet of ours. So thank you for being here, and I am sending you so much love. Until next time.